Hey everyone, this is Rock, Stage in the Sky, and we need to talk about Will Smith. What? We need to talk about that? People still talking about him and the slap? Yeah, because he just came out with an apology, and I know a lot of people, it's not a big deal to you guys. Oh, it's just a slap, it's no big deal. Or you think it was publicity stunt for the Hollywood thing. So I'm going to break down why it mattered and what it was such a big deal to, I want to say, young black men like myself. We're talking about guys who we've been crossed so many times, right? We've been offended and insulted, and we would have loved to go up and slap the out of someone, but we didn't. We do the right thing, and regardless of reward, regardless of recognition, regardless if we lose out on opportunities, we still do the right thing. And for a lot of us young black men, Will Smith was probably one of the few guys who we looked up to, not like a role model, like we idolized him, but we were like proud of him. It's like, wow, like he's been pressured to, do gangster rap, but he's still doing Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We love that. And then to see him go on stage and just throw all of that out the window by slapping Chris Rock, keep my wife's name out your, it's like, ugh, like I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch Will Smith, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You haven't heard "Summertime" all season long, and so he came out with his apology to Chris Rock. And I'm gonna tell you this because I'm not a hypocrite. I don't believe in cancel culture. I believe that people should be punished for their bad mistakes. So when he slapped Chris Rock, if that was an ordinary black man, that's called assault and battery. You would go to jail for that, or you'd be punished. There'd be some kind of court, the law would have gotten involved. But Will Smith, legally nothing happened, but his career did take a hit. I think a lot of people did say, hey, that was wrong, even in Hollywood, right? But in black culture, and I've been very critical about black culture because I think it's a problem. You see the black on black violence, the deaths, and, the fact that black men fill the prisons. Black culture is a problem, and there's a lot of divisiveness within black culture when it comes to Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. A lot of people said, no, that's what you need to do, protect black women. And then a lot of us guys are like, no, you don't do it. You use your words. Even Shamika Michelle, she was on Jason Whitlock's show the other day, and they were talking, and she's supposed to be Christian, right? And she was like, yeah, I think that, if someone's talking bad about you, you need to learn how to talk bad back. I'm like, no, that's not good. You don't return evil with evil, even if it is joking. The malice in that statement is, okay, someone belittled me, so I'm gonna cut back at them so they can. No, you don't do that. Like, again, some culture, that is what you do. All right, so let me break down. All right, so again, why were some black people upset? Even my parents, my dad, a lot of people were, because again, Will Smith, he built up his reputation, or like we were proud of the fact that he didn't cave in. Even MC Hammer, I think he was, and so we pray, like he transcended the hip hop charts to mainstream culture because his rapping was, he didn't curse a lot in his rap. And this is a time when NWA and Wu-Tang, they were on the rise, and with black people, and sad to say, black culture, it's like it's like they respect and they appreciate and they love all of the bad boy type raps, not even raps, but just culture, Shaft, the pimp culture, like anything that was good, wholesome, they're like, oh, you sell out, whatever, like that's a problem, so Will Smith was one of those role models where like, man, he's doing what's good, he's trying to do his right thing, he's doing awesome work, his career is, he's done remarkable things, and then he goes up and slaps Chris Rock over a joke. Now, a lot of people were applauding him for doing that. They're like, oh, well, he's making fun of his wife. She has alopecia. I didn't know that. I don't think anyone knew that. I don't think anyone would have even cared until this incident happened. Like, no one, like, the joke was just a joke. And the only one who was offended was Jada at that moment. And no one would even remember the joke. No one would be talking about the joke if Will Smith all right, so we're past that. But when it comes to, oh, well, you need to protect black women, and a lot of, I hate to say it, but it was mainly black women who were supporting them. It was mainly a lot of women who were supporting Will Smith. And I can kind of see it, but I think the logic is so flawed in so many ways, right? Because it goes against what they've been pushing with feminism. Oh, I don't need no man, right? 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 But then you have, oh, well, we need men to stand up and step up and protect us. And everyone who's talking and screaming about, oh, we don't need no man, but we need men to step up. Even with the Roe v. Wade, right? Roe v. Wade happened, and all of a sudden you have people with shirts, oh, well, men need to speak up. I'm like, I thought we had no say in your bodies. Like, pick a choice, pick a lane, more importantly, even if you want a man to speak up for you, like a stranger, you see someone, like if I'm Clark Kent, and I do have that Clark Kent mentality in me, where if I see someone being picked on, I'm probably gonna step in and be like, hey man, that's not cool. I wouldn't go up and slap the dude. Use words. Like me and my dad talked about this. Like there's a right way and a wrong way to handle that. Like if you didn't like Chris Rock's joke, you handle it behind stage. But hey, man, didn't appreciate that. Can you go and apologize to my wife because she took that really, And then if he puts hands on you, then yeah, you can defend yourself. But you use words. There's a right way and a wrong way to do that. Why is that important? Well, look at the prisons. Look at the black and black violence. Look at, the gang violence. A lot of this stuff that's happening in the culture is happening because people don't make the right decisions. Like there's so much street cred and reputation. And again, black culture. Mama said knock you out. It's like you use your words. Like you talk about it, sticks and stones. Remember all that? When I say, the prison system, like there are a lot of people in jail right now for making bad decisions, and it's all based on black culture. There, like that prison, that there's a video that it came out where a 16-year-old is fighting a black cop, and I hate that it got so much media attention because a lot of people are saying, yeah, this is why, we need to do something about this. But I'm like, that black kid who's 16, he's going to become legendary on the streets. I guarantee you that the people who know him and people in his neighborhood be like, yeah, y'all remember, this is the dude. He whooped that cop's ass. Like he's going to be legendary. And this is because of black culture. We need to do something about it. We need to call it out. This is why when we saw Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, a lot of us young black men who strive to do the right thing, who are part of black culture, we're trying to make changes by living by example. And why we like Will Smith, is that he was living by example, and then he threw that all away. That's mainly what I wanted to talk about, and when it comes to Will Smith, because I heard from white people and black people, and usually, I'm not the kind of guy who says, oh, you don't understand because you're not black. I don't like to say that, but there is a cultural difference that a lot of people just wouldn't understand unless, I hate to say it, you're black and you're a young man and you're kind of like me, like where you like some hip hop, but you're not married to it. Where, if you listen to Wu-Tang or Tupac or Biggie, you hear the lyrics, but it's like, okay, that's fake. That's not happening. He's a rapper, like you don't, and you don't infuse that with your real life. Like it's just rap. You can differentiate it, like you can leave that on, in the headphones, you don't incorporate that in your real life. When it comes to our youth, and the impressionable youth, the youth who are still coming up, it really is for a mature audience, those lyrics, because a lot of them, they are enamored and they are inspired by those lyrics, and they see the music videos where the bad boys are getting the hot girls and the flashy cars, and that does something to you. Like Bernard Hopkins, he's a middleweight champion, it was a middleweight champion. I saw a documentary about him, and he was talking about how he went to jail, for fighting, or he went to jail for other things, but he came out a boxer, and he saw how, people who were younger than him, had the flashy cars and the money, and they were doing drugs, and, that does something to a young man, like you want those things, but they're doing it the wrong way. They're going about it the wrong way. And I hate to say it, but that's a problem with black culture. That's why we need to, okay, there's a right way and a wrong way, and I would say, and I don't want to go straight to the Bible, but it's like doing things God's way, is the right way. Now, you might not get your reward here on earth right now. Like if you look at all the examples of the Bible, Joseph, Abraham, like it took years before they found the prominence that they had to really do what's good in God's eyes, but they had it, even in death. Like your reward is in heaven, kingdom of heaven. But if you don't believe, if you don't have faith, it's going to be evident in the way you live your life, right? Oh, there's no, like Andrew Tate's on the rise right now. Like, and I do respect Andrew Tate for a little bit. For if y'all know who he is, he's a kickboxer. But right now, he's been saying a lot of outlandish things. He's been saying it almost in a less tactful way that Kevin Samuels has been saying it. And some of it's just out of control and crazy. And like there's grains of truth you can get out of what he's saying, but also it's like part of it, I feel like it's an act, like it's a performance, and he's saying it to really just rile up his audience and get them hyped up, and he's saying, okay, this is off base. But when it comes to Will Smith, and what he did and his apology, I don't believe in cancel culture. I believe that he deserves some punishment, which it could have been just the ridicule and the way people reacted to him, the disappointment that he's been faced with since that happened. And it was it was much needed. Like he did deserve the criticism. He did deserve the disappointment. I really hope that he does get better. I don't know what's going on with him and Jada. There's been a lot of speculation. There are a lot of stuff that came out there, the whole that happened, like his daughter, writing a letter to Tupac in heaven for Jada. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I don't want to dive too deep because I don't know all the facts. I just tell you, it doesn't look good. It's really disappointing. It's really sad. But on the point of Will Smith, I really do hope he gets better. I don't believe in cancel culture. I hope that his career can take a rebound. I hope that him and Chris Rock can reach out, because they're, I hate to say it, like black culture, we need good role models. We need good men. I'm talking, because I'm a guy, I'm talking from the male's perspective. So a lot of people, oh, what about women? This isn't about you, all right? This is about men. Like Will Smith is a guy. A lot of men looked up to him, right? We need good male role models. And you want to talk about, oh, what about women? Your children, women, a lot of single mothers out there. There's a lot of black children being born out of wedlock, like 70 to 80%. So when it comes to, oh, what about women? What about your sons and daughters, right? Who are they looking up to? Every time they put on the headphones, they're listening to a message from a rapper, from Drake, from J. Cole, all these rappers feeding them mentality, an ideology that you may not like. You may not want them to repeat I hate to say it, but your mistakes, right? Getting married, having children outside wedlock is a mistake. You should get married. I can't tell you how many compilation videos I've seen where people just don't know this. They keep saying, oh, well, my mom raised me without dad. I don't need, this is bad. You need to stop it. We need to put it into it, right? So we need good male role models. If you're not married, if you don't live with your husband or the baby's daddy, your children probably don't have the male figure right there in the home. Yes, in the home, that matters. Not, oh, he comes around every weekend, or oh, he comes and picks him up at the school. In the home, that matters. I can tell you, me and my brothers, nothing straightened us out stronger and faster than hearing the garage come up, and knowing that our stepdad was rolling into, yeah, my mom got divorced when I was like 6, 7. She remarried, and she married a soldier, and he instilled discipline in us. He whooped our ass, every Saturday outside doing chores. We were busy. We had discipline. Our work ethic came from him. I credit my real dad with instilling me with a sense of competition. You put your best foot forward no matter what. That was my real dad. And my real dad, he's one of my best friends to this day. I talk to him about everything. But my stepdad, during those early years and teenage years, he instilled work ethic. You work hard, nothing's going to be handed to you. I still have that mentality. And when it comes to, if I didn't have that force, my mom, I love her to death, and she was strong. My dad, she made a lot of decisions in the house, but at the end of the day, my stepdad was the one we feared. Like the garage coming up. When you hear that, it's like everyone put up your toys, break out your homework, make it look like you're doing something productive. Like that's the force that the father figure has on children, especially young men. All right, young boys who need to grow up to be men. Oh, where are the good men at? Well, did they have good men in their home teaching them how to be good men? No. Strange. That's weird. Put two and two together. Come on. All right, so that's really what I wanted to say about Will Smith, why people are upset. Why I do hope he gets better. I think it's cool that he came out with an apology. I really hope that, they can do like an interview together. And Chris Rock, I imagine he has a lot he really wants to say to Will Smith. I really hope he can say all that, like I said, it was disappointing. I don't think that was Will Smith. I think there was a lot of pressure on him. And I don't want to dig too deep into Jada because we're all responsible for our own actions, and that's another thing I want to tell men. Regardless what influence, what pressure you're under, regardless what your woman. Not saying that Jada did anything. I'm just saying that a lot of men have been pushed and influenced and motivated to do bad things because they wanted to impress their women. We need to stop that. We need to say, hey, I'm not doing that. Oh, well, then you don't love me. Hey, look, there's the door, all right? Like we need control. We need to be leaders. Like you can't lead while following. That sounds so bad. I know this sounds. Oh, you sound like I'm Christian, right? Christ tells us the New Testament. There's so many chapters in different books that tell us that men are to be head of the household. We're supposed to be leaders. All right. Before you even get married, like the woman I'm with, I need to know that she's going to be following my lead, or she trusts me enough to follow my lead, to know that I'm not leading her down destruction, but that when we get married, she has a man she can count on to, to guide the household, to keep us on the path, the good path. And if all that sounds oppressive to you, I'm sorry. This is a lot of men in this country. We think this way, and at the end of the day, we answer to our Heavenly Father. His name is Jehovah. That's the English word for Yahweh. Not this world. At the end of the day, when we die, we're not going to be in front of the council of woke mob saying, "Hey, can we get into heaven?" No, we answer to our Heavenly Father. So that's what's more important to us. Okay. All right. Thanks for listening. I hope everything goes right with Will Smith and Chris Rock, and hopefully this helps you guys understand why a lot of young black men, that's the focus here, were upset with Will Smith. I hope he gets better. I respect that he came out and apologized, because that's another thing that a lot of black men need to do. Instead of holding on to grudges, or when keeping it real goes wrong, I'm not apologizing. I didn't do anything wrong. Apologizing is a sign of weakness. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Like, I think it takes strength to admit that, bro. And I say that because I'm not afraid to apologize. When you make a mistake and you do apologize, like, that's how you get better. Because you accept the fact that, okay, here's what was wrong with me, and this is the first step to change. Then you can grow. Then you can improve. But but Rock, you can grow and you can improve. You don't need to apologize. But if you wrong the person, again, black culture, I swear to God. All right, let me stop. Okay.